Hi there, Geoff Coughlin, Editor Scale Modelling Now. So welcome to this inbox browse of the recently released Airfix 72nd scale McDonnell Douglas Phantom FG.1. We've already had the FGR2, so it's nice to see the naval version of the Phantom in British service and that striking box art for Black Mike, which was a commemorative scheme way back. I think it was in around 1989. Remember seeing the aircraft in person at RF Mildenhall at an air fete there, and it certainly looked impressive. And if I can dig them out, I'll try and include a couple of pictures with this review. Okay, so what have we got this time? So essentially it is the same kit, but with obviously the new decal sheet. That's the primary thing. We get a couple of new markings, a couple of new schemes. We've got Black Mike, and of course we've got a classic 43 Squadron Fighting Cocks black and white checker scheme as well. So let's just have a quick run over the kit, which you may or may not have seen the first time round. And I think different things really. We've already reviewed this, so you can see the other review previously for the FGR2. Definitely it's classic sort of game of two halves really. Many pros and some cons really. I think the first thing is that the panel line detail is quite heavy on this kit, more so than it is on some of the other more recent releases. So when I say more recent releases in terms of brand new toolings, but so bit odd that is quite heavy, as you can see here. It's not impossible, and I think under paint it shouldn't look too bad. You get the options, as you can see here, for the folded wingtips. That's a nice touch. And just as we go left here, you get a really nice I think it's an APG radar in the nose, which you can have mounted open, so the nose cone can be open and you can see that inside. Some lovely detail on the front of those rocket pods, there's match rocket pods there. Delicate undercarriage legs, always good to see. Coming round, you can see just how the model breaks down in terms of parts. But, you know, another real positive thing, if you look at here, these leading edge kind of slats deployed, have got a beautiful fine edge to them. Detail as well for the speed brakes, which is quite nice. Got the separate intakes, which is sort of classic for the Phantom kits. I think this is one of the criticisms really, is that the vents on top of the intakes are not included, and I think that's a real shame that they weren't molded. So I have seen that there is a replacement set of resin intakes should you want to get them from one of the aftermarket suppliers. Over to the left hand side here, different pods. We've got the SUU 23A Vulcan rotary cannon. I mean, that's just an awesome bit of kit. Recce pods, and so on. So plenty to keep you interested there. Quite a nice option this, I thought, having the separate upper section for the fuselage, so that avoids a join there. And I think the other joins are around panel lines. Need to double check that, but I think that's true. Options for the two different fins, one with the rear warning receiver and then one without, so that's nice to see. Intake trunking, also good. Over to the cockpit at the top here. Pretty decent detail, I think, inside there. You get the two seats, Martin Baker Mark 7 seats. I think they look pretty decent in terms of representation. A little bit of tidying up, bit of finesse, fiddling around, fettling with the scalpel should make those, and particularly the grab handles for the ejection seat sequence really really fine and refined. Nice detail inside here for under the seat, under the fuselage. I like the flattened tyres. I think they look really effective, which is good. Nice detail on the cans. I think the cans are perfectly reasonable for the scale. And then, of course, we've got further weapons over here. The twin wing tanks, the centerline tank, bombs, AIM-9 missiles. Early versions I noticed here. Those are not, well, depending on the aircraft you're building, if you want to fit early winders to it, then those will do. Otherwise, you need later Mark 9s. But hey-ho, you just need to decide what you want to add. And Skyflash missiles to boot. So plenty of options there, depending on the aircraft you want to feature. Black Mike quite often flew relatively clean. I mean, I've seen different setups and loadouts with it at different times, so you can make your mind up again with that. Instructions, so if we just get the box out of the way, classic instructions really, just taking you through the build, so you just need to be mindful of that. One thing I did spot was that, and in fact we just missed that, if we just come back to the clear parts, I mean the clear parts are great, they certainly look good, option for closed and open canopies, but I did notice that the nose gear door, here you only get the door for the FGR2 with the single light. I think the FG.1 had the triple light system, so you just need to probably drill out some new holes for those. So just check out your references for that and you'll see exactly how that's set up. Yeah, okay, so back to the instructions. Yeah, as I said, pretty standard. Gives you a very clear idea of exactly what you need to do and when, and you can decide to vary that as and when you want. So nothing to get excited about as far as that goes. New decal sheet, lovely this, really, I mean, you can imagine Phantom's absolutely festooned with stencils. One of the advantages of doing Black Mic is that many of those won't be seen, you won't need to add them, and quite a few of us get quite bored with some of the tiny ones, so particularly in 70-second scale you can take the view as to how many of these you want to add. But all the decals are in nice register, I like the look of those, and the colour and all the rest of it looks good. So of course you can see here the option for the decals to use for the instrument panels as well, your call. Really nice colour painting guides and decal guides here. Here we go, the one for Black Mic, which you can see here. The 43 Squadron bird on the other side. Classic FG.1 really, and 43 Squadron who pretty much flew, I think, the FG.1 throughout its service, I think. So yeah, lots of ideas and options there as well, and perhaps the drill round as well, the blue drill round and things like this in the missile bays could also be good options. And then of course you've got that ridiculous and detailed stencil guide there, so that makes me feel sick, so I'm not going to look at that anymore. Okay, so there we go. That's the Airfix McDonnell Douglas Phantom FG.1 in 70-second scale. Nice to see it, and well done Airfix for producing the naval version of the type.